Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of my favorite series, emoji rating. I guess. I don't remember what I called it, but we're on Emoji Dex, which coincidentally probably has the worst looking emojis I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, these are pretty terrible. So, we're gonna go to smiling people. We're gonna actually find, like, a good array of emojis again. We're gonna revisit it. We're gonna get these things perfect. So, I think it's important that we start with a very important emoji, the thinking emoji, which is ramped up in popularity over the years. As you can tell, I have no idea. Fucking people just started using the thinking emoji. But whatever. Apple's thinking emoji is kind of, I think, the default one. I like it. I can't believe I'm doing this again. Like, when I started doing it, I was like, God damn it. God, this is such a shitpost video. Yeah, I mean, like, I like it. I think the hand is well placed. It's a decent size comparative to the head, and it just looks good altogether. Google is fine. I don't get with the shape with Google. You can actually, I forgot you can check the progression of them. His changed a little bit. His first one is basically the same as Apple's, but just a little bit madder. It looks a little bit like more like I don't believe you, while like Apple is actually like thinking. Okay, so Microsoft's still the thick outline, kind of weird, almost tribal looking sort of thing going on. I think it's good. I don't have no issues with it. I mean, like, it's probably not my favorite. Like, it doesn't really look like it's, well, I guess it kind of looks like it's thinking. They kind of just, like, took the eye and rotated it 90 degrees, which I'm not a huge fan of. Samsung's is kind of weird. I don't like how they made him, like, pushing his mouth up, like he's got this huge-ass chin. They could have just easily put the mouth, compared to the Apple one, it just looks funky. I like the, you know, eyebrows and the eyes and everything. Just don't think the hand-to-mouth ratio is well executed. LG's looks not good. Looks like he's like holding a gun. He's like yeah, don't cross me, dude. Facebook's is pretty good. I like the kind of like more Mickey Mouse looking hand. Again, it does like what the Samsung emoji was doing, but better because it's curved. The mouth is curved in a better way. I know it's very specific. Twitter's is the classic thinking emoji, which is very simple. Also kind of looks like he's holding a gun, but at the same time, I think it works. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the positioning of it. It's not as realistic of a hand, so it's hard to tell, but from far away glance, it actually looks pretty good. It almost looks like it's like a squid is attached to his like lower chin, but whatever. Emoji ones is pretty good. It's well better than it was before. I think it looks a lot nicer now. It's a lot more stylized. Good hand. And Emoji Dex's is god awful. So that's the thinking emoji. I think the best one, probably Apple. I think it's just well done. I think like the most, you know, recognizable is the fucking Twitter one. I just spit water all over myself, mainly because it's used in Discord, so I see it all the time. Spider. Spiders are cool. I like spiders. Anyone who's arachnophobic, turn away. Apple's is almost too realistic. It almost looks just like a photo of like a spider, or like a 3D model of a spider. Google's is always looked like that. Again, it was a little lighter before. Google's is definitely a spider. I think it looks better than it did before. It's kind of got like nice shading. It definitely pops out at you. It's nice. The hieroglyphic fucking Microsoft one is pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell it's a spider. Might take a second. It almost looks like a weird like demon with like weird arms like coming out of its side. But like it looks like there's horns, and it's got like these like 3 like relics in its stomach. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. The first one looked pretty good. That's a very simple looking spider. Samsung's is so gross. That I don't even think that looks like a spider. Like that looks almost like just a normal insect. Why is it brown? Spiders are like 95% of the. It's like, oh my god. A cartoon spider is like 99% of the time black, just because that's kind of what associated with spiders in our culture, I guess. And usually when somebody wants to make, you know, a turtle brown or something in the emoji, it's like you're being way too pretentious, dude. Just keep it black, keep it recognizable. It looks like a beetle with 8 legs. I don't know, it's weird. LG's looks like it's made of metal. Doesn't look it looks okay. I don't really like it. Facebook's looks pretty good. Simple shading makes it look like bulbous, like an actual spider. Its legs are actually have some like texture, I guess, to them, you call it. I don't know, some actual like thing. Twitter's is pretty good. Simple spider, works well. Emoji ones, it's okay. The one was funny looking. Wow, what a change. I think it's better looking. Emoji Texas is way too realistic. It's like a straight spider. The legs are way too real. Out of all the spiders, I think it's either Facebook or Twitter's. Definitely not Samsung's. I can live without Apple's. Google's is okay, but Microsoft's is nah. I don't really like LG's. Yeah, I think it's probably Twitter's. Again, this one wins simplicity. Spider doesn't need to look like an actual spider. It just needs to represent a spider. And there's certain angles and lines that you can achieve that most spiders look like, or, you know, the standard spider thing is like, it's an emoji. It's not a piece of art. I'm sorry. Well, it is a piece of art, but it's not like a piece of art you'd be staring at for hours and hours. So I think it's simple is better. Performing arts. So this is, you know, stage performing arts, kind of what represents theater. Sorry, taking a drink. So we got Apple. Pretty good. Pretty weirdly well shaded. I think that's like mostly what Apple does. Like they do really well shaded, kind of, you know, almost like very gradient heavy, sort of 3D looking stuff. And it looks good. I think it's actually works really well. I like the sashes coming out of it. Keeps it kind of like a nice contrast, but sort of like a it's like a one piece made of two pieces. It's impressive. Google's is pretty good too. I like the faces on it like a lot. It's really nice. Microsoft's is bad. Microsoft doesn't even look like it used to look pretty good, but I would never know that is performing arts. It literally just looks like I don't even know what I think it is. It looks like the Snipper Clips characters from like that Switch game. That is so weird. That is so off. That's really weird. No, they didn't nail that at all. That's really bad. Samsung's is pretty good, kind of weird, a little too like made a little cartoonier. Oh god. LG's is so just like looking ahead. LG's is something. Again, I don't think it really looks like I'd be hard pressed to find someone who's just like, yeah, that's performing arts. That's what represents compared to the first two. Like this one and Microsoft's, it just doesn't capture it. Same with HTC. I know they're trying for something, but just like curve it so it looks like a mask. It just looks like a shape, like a face with a specific shape. It doesn't look like an actual mask. You have to curve them a certain way. Take Facebook's creepy ass one, for example. It's curved in a specific way where you can tell it's a mask and they're overlapped with each other, kind of the way that, you know, theater and performing arts, that little logo for it always is represented. It looks good. This one, I don't think does. The old one looked pretty good too. They're not curved in that one, but they do represent it really well with the faces. The faces really nail that. Messenger, there's a lot. What the fuck? Messenger, I guess, is different. Is really creepy and is like nightmare status. Twitter's looks absolutely terrible. First of all, the colors are way off. Green and purple. When is that ever used? That's really weird. And also, they look like little hearts. They don't look like masks. And the faces are off. I don't know. That one just doesn't do it. Come on. And Mozilla's is even worse. Those look straight up like the fucking hearts that you'd buy, like the little like candy hearts on Valentine's Day. Those do not look like masquerade. Not masquerade masks. Whatever. Just like masks. I guess they're not masquerade, but are they? I don't know what the definition of that is. Emoji 1. My bad. It looks okay. I mean, again, I don't think it looks amazing, but I think it's better than a lot of these. And Emoji Dex's actually looks pretty good. It's a little like over. They lose the idea of a mask when they're almost too realistic of faces. Like compared to Emoji 1 and Emoji Dex. Emoji Dex's are a lot more like actual faces. Like the masks are just people. But still, it's decent. So I think the obvious winner here. I want to go with Google, actually. I like Apple's, but Google's is really good looking. I like the faces on it a lot. And again, the curved angle of the masks make them look like a mask. And the sashes make it look like they're fucking actually, like, you know, stage masks. God, this one was one of the most obnoxious. Fucking Microsoft just shit itself with that one. I'm sorry. I went on a little bit of a rant there, my bad. Let's go to objects. Umbrella on ground. This one's gonna be tough to review. Okay, so Apple's is good. I think I don't think it needs. I guess I know. I mean, I guess an umbrella on the ground is 99% of the time associated with the beach. unless you like drop your umbrella. So I think it's okay not to have the sand like in their old one. That one's pretty good. The very subtle shadow looks pretty good. Google's is a little weird. I think their old one actually looked almost a little bit better. It's got a little bit of an awkward perspective thing going on. Like, it doesn't really make sense. They could have moved things down a little bit. I don't know. It just kind of lazy almost. Microsoft's is not that good. It almost doesn't look like an umbrella. It almost looks like something else. I guess the actual umbrella makes it, but like that sand is not okay. Again, they could have like made the sand like a little bit off perspective, kind of like, you know, slanted, so it makes it look like it's into the ground instead of just like on a brick. It just looks weird. I don't like it. Samsung's is like a frame. It's like a scene. I guess it gets the job done. I don't know if I like it as an emoji, but it is something. LG's is also like a framed scene. It even has a drop shadow. This one does too, on the actual frame. It's like a postcard. Facebook's is pretty good, simple and effective. It's got like very subtle shading on the stick. It's got like, it's made up of like, you know, 4 different colors. It looks good. Twitter's is basically a worse version of Facebook's, and that's the beginning and end of it. It's like nothing more. It's just like lazily made. God damn it. Emoji ones is decent. I don't think it needs all that sand detail. I don't think it needs all those colors in the umbrella, but it looks decent from far away. Emoji Dex's looks so bad. You know, it's funny, Emoji Dex like sometimes tries really hard with like the mask one. They were doing really well, but what the fuck is this? That's not even, I guess it gets the job done, but usually they're more detailed than that. I think Facebook is like the obvious winner in this one. A lot of them just don't represent it very well. This one just is simple and effective, and that one line of sand at the bottom can be implied as beach, but also can be used as anything else. It's just a good emoji. Let's see convenience store. Oh, jeez. Okay, so let's get some parameters out of the way. I guess a convenience store would be 24 hours. It has to represent 24 hours, or at least convenience store well. So if I were to show you this without you knowing it's a convenience store, would you know this is supposed to be a convenience store? Absolutely fucking not. Apple's does not represent a convenience store at all. Neither does that one. It's way too like big. It looks like an office building, like number 24 office building, like company name. Google's is good. Google's represents it, especially because of the sign, and their old one did too. You gotta have that sign. You gotta have a smaller place that's way too big. It's implied that it's not 3 floors, but there's 3 windows. It's just weird. Sign's way too big on that too. Microsoft's is pretty good, way better than it used to be, in my opinion. That is, you don't know what that is. That just looks like a bunch of blocks. This one at least has some color and some depth. It's still 2 floors? Question mark? Like, I mean, I guess I don't really know many convenience stores that are 2 floors, but I mean, I guess if it's in a city, and like this one's not. They use definitely a house model. They just kind of stuck 24H on it and said, this is our convenience store. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, and it's like connected to a house. What? That's not even important. Oh my god. Again, this one doesn't really represent it well either. HTC's is okay. I think it works well because people forget that convenience stores usually are made of, like, a lot of the time, the gas station convenience stores, which are almost entirely glass, like windows. Actually works decently. I think the 24 hours pieces it together as a convenience store. It's a little simple, but like I could use like a little bit more detail in the windows, so you know those are windows. You could definitely mistakenly think those are just like blocks. Facebook's is good. Used to be terrible. Holy shit. Good though. I think it looks good. Represents that well, like a gas station kind of thing. Messenger's is pretty good. Only one with depth. Only one with like a 3. I think it's not the only one, but one of the only ones with actually like a curved angle and everything. What's it? A Dutch? Well, Dutch angle isn't really that. It's just like actually has perspective. Twitter's tries. Again, 2-floor convenience store? Question mark. Don't really know about that. Maybe. Same thing with Mozilla. It's pretty much the same exact thing as Twitter. Oh, maybe they work with each other. It's like that's like way too similar. That one's pretty good. Emoji ones, it almost looks like a diner though. It used to be so bad. You can't even tell what that is. That is so fucking confusing. Emoji Dex's is pretty good. Gets the job done. Kind of a little too bland. I think the best one here probably... I'm going to give it to HTC just for doing something different. So HTC wins that one. Yay. Let's do rocket. So a rocket ship. What the fuck? Okay. So this is the rocket ship. Unicode 6.0, 2010. Added to emoji 1.0, 2015. So I don't know the emoji like history, but I guess this is something. So the rocket ship for Apple is pretty realistic. Has some lighting and shading effects. Works as a decent emoji. Do I like it more than its old one? Yeah, I think so. It's more realistic. It's kind of goofy looking though. Google's is pretty good. Does the rocket ship thing pretty well. Just looks good. Wonder why they turned it. Whatever. Microsoft's I don't like, and actually I like their old one, but I don't like their new one. I don't like when rocket ships look like that. It looks like a rocket ship. It looks like a firework, and same with like the Samsung looks like a missile. You just need that window, dude. LG's looks pretty good. Yeah, it's fine. This one's not as interesting as I want it to be. Ooh, HTC's is simple and bland, but Facebook's, do you see that? Camera guy, get a zoom in on that. It's an alien in there. That's really cool. I actually like Facebook's a lot. It's nice looking, it's simple, gets the job done, looks good from far away. Solid, A+. Messengers looks pretty good too. I like the red. It's very bright, has some decent details, and just looks good altogether. Twitter's looks pretty good. I don't know what's with the face. But it's got like a little like frowny face. Mozilla's, it looks good, but a little too simple. There's way too many rocket emojis. What the fuck? Emoji ones looks pretty good. Used to look terrible. I'm glad they fixed it. I think the winner is the one with the alien in it. I'm just gonna fucking yeah, I mean, like, come on, dude, look at it. It's got an alien in it. It's different, it's inventive, it looks good from far away. Good job, Facebook. You made a good emoji. Definitely good at, you know, faking it out. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. We're gonna do selfie. I keep even doing this to myself. So selfie would represent by, I guess, see, here's the thing. You could get selfie confused with somebody literally just holding up their phone and doing something on it. So it has to represent that well. So let's just look at them. Okay, so Apple, no, I don't think it does at all. There's no indication that they're taking a picture. It just looks like someone holding their phone. I guess the angle of their arm, but their hand isn't angled like that. Like usually people do selfies like from above or something. It kind of is more. He could be taking a picture of somebody else easily. Google's pretty good. The hand really makes that one. The arm is in the same position as Apple's, but the hand is curved up where it looks like somebody's taking a picture themselves. Microsoft's is okay. I don't like the, you know, weird hard outlined style, but it has the little like ding 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 effect, and like it looks like they're taking a picture. Oh god, Samsung's is bad. Just thought like this finger, it's gross. Lazy as fuck. Emojipedia, which I guess is another one, it's pretty good. You can actually see somebody's reflection or somebody's image in there, which is a nice touch. You would never see that from far away, but it's a nice touch, I guess, if you zoom in on an emoji. Facebook's is also kind of weird. Again, hard to tell you'd be taking a selfie. Twitter's definitely not. It's too formal of an arm pose for a selfie. It's like, it looks like somebody's like using their phone on a plane or something. Emoji ones is pretty good. They're definitely, oh, the fuck. Their old one is pretty good too. Again, the little like ding thing that's going on with it is definitely helps. Emoji Dex is pretty good too. That's a very kind of recognizable selfie arm pose. Wow. Emoji Dex, did it win it? No, maybe not. I think Emoji Dex or Emoji One, which is very uncommon. I'd say Emoji Dex just has that pose really well, that arm pose. We'll close my eyes and pick one because I don't really give a shit with the animal. Lizard? Lizard looks interesting. Sure, we'll do lizard. Okay, so the Apple lizard is weirdly realistic with a lot of detail in its skin. It has a lizard pose, so it's very noticeably a lizard. I actually kind of like it. Big, wide, black eyes, But the detail is kind of necessary, but it's not a bad thing, I guess. If it still works, then it still works. The detail doesn't really matter. I guess if it's lost, it's kind of a waste, but not my problem. If it's emoji, it's an emoji, right? So Google being pretentious and using a brown lizard because apparently the green lizard's too common for them, right? I don't get why it's not green. Most lizards are green, and most lizards usually are like indicated to be green. That's usually the lizard color. Used to look green. I just think it's kind of too simple anyway. I like Microsoft's. It's very cute. Is it a lizard? I'm not sure. It almost looks like a frog if you got rid of the tail. It's okay. Samsung's looks like it just got squished like by a car. That's gross. Emoji Dex, or Emojipedia, my bad. Pretty good. I like it. It's a little squishy. It looks very like made of goo. It's cute though. Facebook's is okay. I like Twitter's a lot. It's stylistic, but it works really well. I like the half one color, half another color. Emoji one. I guess it looks like a lizard. Emoji Dex. It's a little interesting, a little too weird posed for me. I think the other direction is better for the lizards. I think I will say I like Twitter's the most. It's either Twitter's or Apple's. I like Twitter's because of how simple it is, but Apple's is pretty good too. Pretty good lizard. Ooh, baby chick. Let's do baby chick. Or front-facing baby chick, my bad. So there's two things we have to keep in mind. That's front-facing, and that's a baby chick. So Apple's definitely looks like a baby chick. Way better than it used to look. Its old one looked really bad, so I like it. It's very good. It's actually like really good looking. It's very fat, very like almost looks like it's a model. It's cool. Google's is okay. I think it's cute. It's hard to say. It looks like a chick though. It almost looks like a little like a little blob or like a face of something. Like that's its nose and it's like its fangs coming out like a dog. I don't know. It's weird. Microsoft's, I don't really like it. I think it used to look better, kind of. Actually, it kind of used to look stupid. I think it had a better direction before, but I think they kind of took a wrong turn. It looks kind of like a T-pose. Samsung's is pretty cool. It looks like it's like bow to me. LG's looks really weird. I don't know why they chose the black nose. That definitely doesn't need to be. Should be orange. He looks like he's like ah. It looks like a big fat guy like ah. HTC's is adorable. What the fuck? That's so good. I really like that. It looks like Tweety Bird. Jesus. Samsung's looks like he just got back from like a rager. Also, where are his arms? Ooh, it used to look really good too. The little Facebook one before. That looks really cool though. Messenger's looks a little too creepy for me. A little too big and realistic. Twitter's is pretty good. I think it's cute. It works. Mozilla's is really good actually. Mozilla's usually isn't amazing, but that's just a good shape. For a little lizard, wow. For a little chick. Emoji one, pretty good. I think it looks better than it used to look for sure. It's a good upgrade. Pretty good. I like it. Emoji Dex looks ridiculous, and I do not like it. I like HTC's a lot, because I think that's just like a really cute looking bird. But if I had to give it number 2, it'd probably be Mozilla. Yeah, and Apple's is actually really good too. Wow, a lot of good front-facing chicks here, not gonna lie. I think Apple's is pretty good too. This is tough. So I want to do one that's like more interesting. Lying face. So this is one that's supposed to indicate that somebody is lying. And I guess I never seen this before. I've never used this emoji. This is a new one for me. I'm getting buzzed out the butt. So, I guess this makes sense. They all have big noses like Pinocchio. I guess the long nose thing. Okay, so Apple's is pretty good. I'm trying to like squint. I think it looks like a long nose, but kind of hard to figure out what it's representing. It's weird. This is going to be a tough one because I don't know if any emoji is really going to do this well. It's a weird idea for an emoji. How do you represent somebody lying? So, okay, I guess that works. I think the nose is a little bit in weird positions. I think it could be moved over a little bit, maybe up a little. But it almost looks like he just has like a dip in his skin almost. It had to be curved a little differently too, I think. But for the most part, it's okay. Google's is pretty good. I think its old face represents lying a little bit better. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to say. It almost looks like he's like about to eat a carrot and just kind of sitting there. I guess it's okay. Microsoft's is really weird, and I do not like it. It doesn't really look like a nose. Almost looks like a clock, like a guy who's also a clock, like you're running at a time. Really weird specific thing, but Samsung's is... it's a little weird. Again, I guess it's noticeably a nose, but what would it represent? Just looks like an emoji with a big nose. I think this one's pretty good, Emojipedia. It's hard to represent lying, but I guess kind of the like almost like anxious face, like the like big, like, you know, tall eyebrows, like what I'm not, like what. It's kind of like a lying face, and the big nose definitely thinks about it too. Ooh, Facebook's looks bad as fuck. It doesn't. It looks like a sundial, like fucking like. Oh god, that looks stupid. Twitter's looks okay. They actually got the kind of like face of like a lying face decently. Again, I'd be hard pressed to find someone who thinks that's a nose though. Like, it looks more like a fucking like a carrot. Emoji ones looks pretty good. I think the nose is curved, so it's noticeably a nose. Oh, it's used to look really funny. I think it's like just it placed well, so it looks like a nose. Emoji Dex, this isn't even close. You don't have to make them snide. Don't make lying seem like it's a good thing, dude. So, all in all, this is tough. This is a tough one. I think Emojipedia did the best one. Mainly just because of the face. It's very like, it's worried, but it like works with worried. It just like, it's like almost like anxious, like careful of like, you know, because when you're lying, you're definitely careful that you don't get spotted out for lying. If I had to say one represents lying, I'd say it's Emojipedia. Alright, that was a weird one. That was a very weird one, but I think we're good. That was my emoji video, episode 2. Hopefully I can do more of these. Sorry if this is just fucking stupid nonsense, but I have fun with it sometimes. But we gotta figure it out, guys. We gotta figure out what the best emoji is. I mean, like, could you imagine how embarrassing it is if you got caught using the wrong emoji in the wrong place? I guess you can't really choose, but don't use specific emojis on certain websites. That's what we're figuring out right now. Don't use the lying emoji if you have a Samsung phone. Just say you're lying. Don't use the emoji, because obviously it's not going to represent it very well. I'm just doing everyone a favor, doing God's work here, guys. But thank you for watching. I'm sorry if this is shit post video content, but whatever. Episode 3 will happen eventually. See ya.